Listen to me. And listen with the part of your soul that feels things you cannot explain. Because what I'm about to tell you may finally explain the season of silence you're living through right now. If you've been praying and hearing nothing, if you've been trying and seeing no results, if you've been asking God for signs and receiving only silence, it does not mean God has forgotten you. It means God is building something so big, so unexpected, so perfectly timed. That silence is the only space powerful enough to prepare you for it. Stay with me, because this will make everything clearer. Before we go deeper, if you feel connected to this message already, take a moment to subscribe to Inner Divine. This is where your soul finds clarity, healing, strength, and the truth your heart has been searching for. Now, breathe. And let's begin. Sometimes God becomes silent right before He shifts your entire life. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because He's preparing you for something far greater than you imagined. When God is silent, He is not distancing Himself from you. He is distancing you from the people, places, habits, and plans that cannot walk with you into your next chapter. You begin to feel people drifting away. Opportunities that once felt certain suddenly fade. Plans you trusted collapse overnight. And it feels like loss. It feels like everything is falling apart. It feels like you're being stripped of stability. But in reality, God is clearing space, removing everything that would block your blessing. Because what's coming is too big, too sacred, too divinely designed to fit inside your old life. Every miracle carries a quiet moment right before it appears. A pause. A stillness. A divine silence that feels confusing, but is actually full of purpose. This silence is not empty. It is the sound of God rearranging the pieces of your future so they fall into place at the perfect time. In this silence, your spirit is being rewired. Your inner world is being strengthened. Your direction is being redesigned to match the path God chose for you, not the path you settled for. You feel confused because God is removing the wrong road. You feel isolated because He's removing the wrong people. You feel delayed because He's preparing the exact moment your breakthrough must arrive. Silence is not absence. It is alignment. It is preparation. It is God positioning you for something bigger than you can see right now. You prayed for something, and it didn't happen. You asked for something, and it didn't come. You tried for something, and it still didn't work. But hear this with your soul. Not yet is never rejection. It is divine preparation. God holds certain things back because the timing around you is not aligned. Not your personal timing, but the timing of every situation, person, and path connected to your destiny. A blessing that arrives too early can become a burden instead of a gift. So God waits. Not to deny you, but to strengthen you, align you, and protect what is meant for your future. You may not see what God is doing, but that doesn't mean He is still. Behind the scenes, He is opening doors you don't know exist, preparing people who will help you later, and positioning opportunities that are quietly being shaped for your future. He is removing situations that would have harmed you, closing paths that were not meant for you, and clearing obstacles you never even knew were there. Silence feels like inactivity, but it is actually divine construction. God works in hidden places, beyond your sight, beyond your awareness, beyond your present moment. His silence is where miracles begin. Silence is where God strengthens you. Because true strength is not built in the noise of blessings, but in the quiet space where nothing seems to be happening. In this stillness, your patience deepens. Your faith expands. Your spirit matures. Your intuition sharpens. And your inner voice finally awakens. Silence becomes the classroom where your soul learns to trust without evidence, to believe without guarantees, and to surrender without fear. In silence, you realize God is not just a sound you hear. God is a presence you feel. And presence does not require words. Right before God elevates you, your entire inner world begins to change. You feel disconnected from your old life, as if the things that once mattered no longer hold the same meaning. You feel uninterested in old habits because your soul has outgrown them. You feel distant from certain people, not because you're angry, but because your spirit is rising to a new level. They're not meant to follow, and you can't explain any of it. Your mind is confused, but your soul is awakening. This is not chaos. This is transition. This is the spiritual shift that happens right before God transforms you. You are not being abandoned. You are being upgraded. When God is silent, He is testing something deeper in you. Not your strength, but your surrender. He watches what you do. When doors stay closed. When prayers feel unanswered. When progress is invisible. Will you trust the process? Will you stay grounded? Will you keep walking, even when the path is unclear? Silence is the fire where weak faith breaks, and real faith is born. And God needs your faith, strong enough to hold the blessing that is coming. Sometimes God's silence is not a punishment. It's protection. Protection from your impulsive choices. Protection from the doors you would have forced open. Protection from the people you would have trusted too quickly. You want quick answers. You want clear signs. You want instant direction. But fast decisions can damage your destiny. So God slows everything down. Not to frustrate you, but to form you. To strengthen your judgment. To align your spirit. And to protect the future you are not ready to handle yet. The reason your prayers feel unanswered. You think God is silent. But what if the answer is already here? Just not in the form you expected? Sometimes the answer sounds like, let go. Wait. Trust. Not this. Not now. Not them. This way, not that way. We expect God to answer with a yes. But sometimes He answers with protection. Sometimes He answers with redirection. And sometimes His silence is the answer. A quiet, divine guidance that leads you away from what can break you and toward what will grow you. Every season of silence ends the same way. With clarity, with alignment, and with a breakthrough that feels divinely timed. Suddenly, you understand why the doors you knocked on never opened. Why certain people left. Why situations collapsed. Even when you gave them everything. Suddenly, you meet someone whose energy shifts your entire path. Suddenly, a new direction appears. A direction you never considered. Yet feels unmistakably right. This is the moment God's silence transforms into revelation. The moment everything clicks. The moment the fog lifts. And your spirit feels lighter than it has in years. This is where the bigger plan, the one designed in silence, finally reveals itself. Clear, powerful, and undeniable. Here's the real truth you need to hear. God was never ignoring you. He was preparing you. He was strengthening your heart, shaping your character, redirecting your steps, and protecting you from battles you didn't even know were coming. He was elevating your spirit and positioning you for a blessing far greater than what you asked for. The silence you feared was God carefully building something meant to last. And soon, you will understand why the waiting was not a delay, but divine design. If this message touched your soul, if it brought you clarity, if it made you feel seen, guided, and protected, then this is your moment to stay connected. Because when God is silent, you need a place that reminds you you're not walking through that silence alone. So take a moment, breathe, and subscribe to Inner Divine. Your soul's journey matters. Your transformation matters. And this space is here to guide you, uplift you, and walk with you every step of the way.